Good morning. Welcome back to our lecture room. Ngayong araw na ito, pag-uusapan natin yung mga land grabbing modus na naisip ko na posibleng mangyari, yung mga scheme na ginagawa ng mga unscrupulous people sa loob ng 23 years of practice ko. Naisip ko na ito yung mga pamamaraan para manggrab ng lupa. No? And magkukontinue po tayo after this very short intro. Please stay tuned. Alright, welcome back. So ito nga, yung land grabbing modus, no? Ito po yung pag-uusapan natin. Tingnan mo itong tao na ito, nakanganga pa, no? And yeah, may mga land grabbing modus na scheme na naisip ko. And na based on the consultations of my clients, mga tanong sa akin kung paano nangyayari yung land grabbing, at naisip ko na meron itong mga schemes na naisip ko. Like, number 1, open deed of sale scheme. Number 2, the loan shark foreclosure scheme. Yung open deed of sale scheme, yung first, yan po yung maghiram kayo ng pera tapos open deed of sale ang ipapirma sa inyo. Tapos, ikalawa, yung loan shark foreclosure scheme. Ang taas-taas ng interest, ang laki. Parang automatic 100%, 50%, 20%, or 10%, no? Paano ninyo mabayaran yan? So, yun na. Tapos, pag hindi ka makabayad, ipa-foreclose nila. And then, itong signature on a blank paper scheme. Yun mas grabe. Papirmahin kayo sa blank paper. Pirma lang ninyo. And then, ano pa? Itong prenda arendo scheme. Itong prenda arendo, ito yung prenda mo yung property mo, tapos ang kabayaran na parang interest yung harvest, no? Scheme din yan siya. Merong mga pamaraan na nila land grabbing pala kayo, hindi nyo lang alam. And then, itong titling of land by another person, ikaw yung nakapossession sa property. Hindi titulado. Tapos, bigla na lang papalisin kayo dahil nakatitulo na sa iba. Ayan, pag-usapan natin. Scheme din ng mga sindikato, no? And then, itong roll-out selling scheme, no? So, there is a syndicate here. Paraan po dito, uri po rin ito ng land grabbing, which we will be discussing later on sa separate videos natin. And itong squatting syndicate. So far, yan lang pong 7 bulang na isip ko. But as time will go by, maisip ko ano yung mga land grabbing modus. I will be making a video lecture on that. Pero sisimulan po natin today itong open deed of sale scheme. Okay, paano ba itong open deed of sale scheme? So, okay, ito ka. Wala kang pera. And then, nangyari. But meron ka namang bahay at saka titulado itong mga properties mo. Ha? And may tax declaration ka under your name. And you really need money. Gustong-gusto mo ng pera. And kailangan mo ngayon mabilisang pera. No? May emergency, medical emergency, or ano mang emergency na yan, kailangan mo ng pera. So, lapit ka ngayon dito sa tinatawag nating loan shark. Ano ba itong loan shark? Ito pong loan shark, ito po yung nagpapautang na napakataas ng interest. Okay? Halos matabunan ka na. Kaya, they are called loan shark, no? Karang kainin ka kasi nung shark na ito, hindi ka na makakabayad sa utang mo. Alright, so sasabihin ng loan shark ito, okay, sure, you can borrow money from me. Just come over and borrow money from me. Oh, nakangisip pa siya. Ang laki ng ngipin. Alright. So, what happened was that, ito, nag-aantay yung si loan shark. Ikaw naman, takbo ka rin. Daladala mo yung titulo mo sa property. At, ang sabi mo, maghihiram po ako ng 1 million pesos lang. Emergency lang talaga, kailangan ko. Alam nyo, mga interest sa mga loan shark, no? Meron silang mga 5%, meron silang mga 7%, may mga 10%. Hindi po lahat ng nagpapautang loan shark, ha? Kasi may mga nagpapautang na 1%, hindi yun loan shark. Talagang okay yun siya na pagpapautang, no? Itong loan shark, ito yung sobrang taas ng interest, no? And kalimitan po ng mga loan shark na alam natin, yung 5-6, at saka meron sila, kung interest ang pag-usapan is yung 10%. Imagine, sa 1 million interest, 10% of that is 100,000 a month. Okay. So, sabi ni loan shark, okay, magpapairam ako sa'yo ng 1 million, pero 10% ang interest per month, payable in 1 year. So, imagine, after 1 year, 1.2 million na ang iyong interest. Mas mataas pa doon sa principal na 1 million. So, ibig sabihin, i-add natin si 1 million at 1.2, it's 2.2 million lahat. Okay, sige lang sir. Wala problema kasi alam ko in months time, sumali kasi ako ng paluwagan. Yan ang uso naman na scheme, no? Mag-usapan natin sometime. Mababawi ko kagad yung pera na yan and siguradong mababalik ko kagad ng pera. Okay. Sige po, kayong bahala. Nakikinig lang naman ako sa inyo. Pero ang akin po, hindi po ako naniniwala sa promissory note at real estate mortgage. Sabi ni Mr. Loan Shark. Alam niyo po, naniniwala lang po ako sa tinatawag nating open deed of sale. Yan lang po ang gusto ko na pamamaraan. Oh, I see. Okay, open deed of sale. Ibig sabihin po, pipirma po kayo ng deed of sale na blank. Ilalagay po natin yung 1 million pesos natin dyan na principal amount. And, tsaka gawa na rin kayo ng promissory note na bayaran nyo within a period of 12 months tapos may interest po na 10% per month. Okay. And for 1 year, 1.2 million ang total interest. And of course, gagawa rin po ako ng affidavit. Itong affidavit na ito po, nakasa doon, i-allow ko po kayo na bilihin nyo balik ito sa akin or i-repurchase or redeem. Pupunitin ko yung deed of sale, babalik yung titulo mo, and then balik mo lang yung pera ko with the interest. Okay? Hawa na si Loan Shark, no? So, with that, pumayag ka. And then, what happened was that nagkaroon ng palitan ng pera. Ayun. Karoon ng palitan ng pera. Tanggap mo na yung pera. And then, what happens is that, sandali, bago po kaya ako pumirma, pwede ko bang i-consult? Ano bang consult? Huwag kang mag-worry. Basta pirma ka dyan. Kung ano yung nandyan, pirma mo na yan. O dyan dito. Dito ka sa pirma sa nakalinya na dyan. Nandyan ang pangalan mo. Pirma mo na yan para tapos na. Siyempre, na-pressure ka, napilitan ka, pinirmahan mo ang papeles. So, what is that? What are you? And what is the transaction? That is a walking time bomb transaction. Antay lang po tayo ng panahon para boom, putok. Magkakaroon ka ng problema. Kasi po, pagdating sa due date, okay? Wala ka pa ring pera. Let's say, lumipas na ang 1 taon. Kiningin mo sa pitaka mo, wala kang pera, oh. Lumipad na lang yung paru-paro, wala ka talagang pera. And then here is Mr. Shark. Smile na siya. Langoy-langoy na siya. Sabi niya ngayon, well, you have to pay me now, no? Sabi niya, hello, bayad na po kayo. Sabi mo ulit, sir, wala pa po talaga akong pera. Paano ba yan? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I have to proceed and enforce the deed of sale. So, open deed of sale, blank date yun, lalagyan ko ng date po, and then papanotaryuhan ko na at ililipat ko na ang lupa sa aking pangalan. Tawa siya, tawa-tawa, no? Kumbaga, nakain niya ngayon dahil shark siya. Ilaland grab na niya yung property. Okay. And of course, in that kind of scenario, now this property ninyo na subject sa open deed of sale, ito yun. And of course, kahit ano pong iyak ninyo, kahit anong beg ninyo, hindi siya papayag. Swerte po kayo kung pumayag siya at bigyan kayo ng extension. At sige, bigyan kita another 6 months ha. After that, wala na talaga. Hindi ka pa rin nakabayad 6 months. So, 600,000 plus 1.2 million, 1.8 plus 1 million, 2.8 million lahat, no? Kasi nga, 10% per month. 10% of 1 million is 100,000. Alright? So, wala. Patay. Okay, so what happened? So yan po si Mr. Loan Shark, no? Laki ng ngipin yan. And ang purpose dito mga tao na ito is really to grab, no? To grab property from you because of this usurious interest rate and sa pamamaraan ng open deed of sale. Big sabihin open deed of sale, blanco po ang date, no? So, bibirahin nila yung property mo. Now, ang tanong ngayon is that, sir, meron po ba tayong remedy or pwede ko takbuhan ko na lang po kaya ito? Hindi mo matatakbuhan si Mr. Loan Shark. Kasi tumakbo ka man lang, wala man siyang problema. Hawak niyang titulo mo. All he has to do is going to fill in the date, papanauthorize niya, and ililipat niyang title under his name, takes possession of the property. Baka ibenta lang ulit niya yung property mo. Hindi ka makakatakbo dyan. Kung ganun sir, meron po ba tayong legal remedies po under the law. Alright. Sige. Well, alam nyo, ang pinaka-basic remedy po talaga niyan, yung preventive remedy, huwag kayo mag-transact sa isang loan shark. Okay? Pero kung nangyari na yan at kayo po yung isa sa mga nanonood nito, okay, this video is for you. Alright. You know, the long arm of the law will definitely come in, no? And later on, talagang makakatch talaga niya itong mga loan shark, no? Kasi meron talagang violation na nangyari. Okay. Mahuli at mahuli rin talaga sila. Mabawal yan, no? And what are the legal remedies under the law? Okay. If the title po is not yet transferred, no? Hindi pa nalipat ang titulo sa pangalan ng loan shark kasi pending pa yun kasi 1 year to pay eh. Pagdating na ng 6-8 months, nakita mo, ba, 800,000 na ako, hindi pa ako nakakabayad. Paano ito? 4 na buwan na lang. Now, you could do, your remedy is to file what we call an action for reformation of contract. Yes po, action po yan siya, legal action. Ibig sabihin, you have to go to court and file a case in court for reformation of contract. Ano po ba ang reformation of contract? Basahin natin. Reformation of an instrument is a remedy in equity, no? Where a valid existing contract is allowed by law to be revised, palitan daw, no? To express the true intentions of the contracting parties. Para lumabas daw yung totoong intention ng mga parties. Ano ba intention nila? Hindi naman sale, kundi utang. Ayan. And that, ang rationale raw dito is that it would be unjust to enforce a written instrument which does not truly reflect the real agreement of the parties. Kung nga naman, unjust naman yun. Hindi naman yan ang uting usapan. Utang man ito, bakit biglang naging sayo? Alright, ganon. Yan po ang sabi ng Supreme Court, no? In reforming an instrument, no new contract is created. Hindi naman gumawa ng bagong kontrata, ni-reform lang, pinalitan lang, no? Para ma-establish yung totoong kontrata ng parties, which is loan. Okay. An action for reformation of an instrument finds its basis in Article 1359 of the Civil Code. Yan. So, take note that kung ito ang contract ninyo, deed of sale, parang palitan lang po ito, i-reform lang ito. Hindi talaga siya mag-execute ng new contract. I-reform lang siya, no? Na ipalabas na ang totoong agreement natin is mortgage naman. Okay? Yan po ay nakikita natin sa Civil Code of the Philippines under Article 1359. Yun ang sabi ng Supreme Court kanina. It finds basis there. That is in Government Record number 1855330, April 18, 2009. That is Makati Tuscany Condominium Corporation versus Multi-Realty Development. Yan yung kaso niya. Sinight nila si Article 1359. Ano ba sabi ng Article 1359? When there having been a meeting of the minds of the parties to contracts, nagkaisipan sila, nagkaintindihan sila, but their true intention is not expressed in the instrument, hindi talaga nakasaad ang totoo nilang usapan, purporting to embodied agreement by reason of mistake, or baka fraud, or inequitable conduct, o yung pangloloko, or pamimilit, or accident of one of the parties, may ask for the reformation of the instrument. Yun na, i-reform siya para to the end that such true intention may be expressed. Sa pamagraan na yun is that sa huli is mapakita ano po pa talaga yung true intention. The true intention is mortgage. So, that is the case if yung title hindi pa na-transfer ha, at saka pending pa yung babayaran ninyo. Okay? So, if that is the case, you could file an action for reformation of contract. Now, what if the problem is that if the title has already been transferred? Okay. So, if the title has been transferred already, nailipat na yung titulo dahil naglampas na yung period mo, and hindi mo nabayaran, tapos pinatransfer niya, na-realize mo ngayon, parang mali. Usapan namin 1 million, tapos biglang naging 2.8, hindi na ako makatubos, tapos suddenly, kanya na yung property. Ang value ng property ko is about 5 million or 10 million. Parang mali. Parang something is wrong, di ba? So with that, you could ask for annulment of title and declaration that it is an equitable mortgage. Ibig sabihin, ipa-annul mo yung titulo mo. Now, that is found under the Civil Code, no? Itong declaration as equitable mortgage, no? Article 1602. Sabi ng court, ang kontrata daw shall be presumed to be a equitable mortgage in any of the following cases. Number 1, when the price of the sale with right to repurchase is unusually inadequate, when the vendor remains in possession as lessee or otherwise, when upon the expiration of the right to repurchase, another instrument extending the period of redemption or granting a new period is executed. Yan. 1, 2, 3 yan, no? The others, when the purchaser retains, for instance, part of the purchase price, or when the vendor binds himself to pay the taxes on the things sold, etc. Now, in any other case daw, when it may be fairly inferred that the real intention of the parties is that of a transaction to secure the payment of a debt. Na yung palang klaro naman hindi naman talaga ito hindi naman to klarong deed of sale, parang utang talaga ito. Meron kasing evidences, no? So, take note that in any case of the foregoing, any fruits or money daw will be received, ma-consider na lang siya as rent. So, ano ba yung equitable mortgage? Kumbaga, the court now, when you file a case in court, ipapa-annul mo yung titulo. Sabihin mo, Your Honor, annulled yan. Bakit? Hindi po naman talaga binenta yan Yung deed of sale namin, actually, ano po yan siya? Yung utang po yan siya. Pwede po bang ipa-declare ko as equitable mortgage? Anong ground mo? Sabi ng korte, tingnan nyo po ha. Number 1 ground po namin is that at inadequate po yun. Imagine, ang value po per appraised value is 10 million. Tapos gidid of sale namin ng 1 million po. Klaro pong inadequate. Okay, ano pa? At saka, ako pa rin po ang nakaposesyon sa property. Dahil nga, utang lang naman ito. Kasi kung talagang binili niya ito ng vendor na totoo, edi sana, siya na po ang may possession sa property. Okay? Ano pa? At saka, after 1 year po, binigyan po ako niya ng extension. In fact, meron kaming written extension for another 6 months. Okay, so ibig sabihin meron palang extension sa redemption. So, in that particular scenario po, no, in this particular scenario na meron namang extension, so it is klaro na equitable mortgage. So, the court will now annul the title, declaring the title as void because the reason that it is not actually a sale but a loan or a mortgage, and will declare that it is an equitable mortgage. And the moment it's declared as equitable mortgage po, you will be given a period of 1 year within which to pay. Tapos, ang basis na kung magkano yung amount doon sa sale, plus you will be paying a interest of only 6% per month, which is for loan or forbearance of money. Yun kasi ang 6% interest per annum. Hindi per month, per annum. So, yun ang babayaran mo. So, ibig sabihin, makukuha mo ulit yung property. Paano po May nakabayad na po ako ng mga ibang may benefits na po siya na-receive sa niya noon, sa mga harvest or sabi natin na mga money na tanggap siya. Sabi ng batas is that the benefits received by the vendee, no? Yung kunyari, yung bumili kunwari, shall be considered as interest. Pero, it shall be subject to the usury law. Kasi ang purpose talaga is, kailangan malaman po doon sa batas, sa inyong transaction, rather, is that ano ba talaga ang real intention? Kapag, like for example, kanina, merong deed of sale, tapos meron namang promissory note, pag pinakita mo sa korte, nakita ng court, deed of sale at promissory note, ano ito? So, ang real intention pala is utang. Hindi pala pagbenta ng property. Okay? So, with that, any and all money nga na matanggap is that it will be subject to the usury laws. So, yun po ang mga remedies po natin under the law. And, of course, next time, I'll be discussing to you the second scheme, no? Sa loan shark pa rin tayo, pero this time, nakapaghanda na siya through foreclosure system siya. Pero, ang taas po ng interest niya. I will continue discussing next time, and I'll see you soon. Take care, danke, sukran, at maraming salamat po.